G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button as you come on in. Big shout out to the sponsors of the channel, my boy Fast Classic. This mixtape is in the description box. It is absolutely free. Definitely give him a download, give him a listen. And my boy Matt, definitely check his apparel out on IG at We All From. And follow your boy on Instagram at BoxWithG5 Jeff TV. That's BOXWIT G5 Jeff TV. Now, this is the official recap. Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev. First and foremost, the live was definitely legendary once again. It wasn't Errol Spence, Sean Porter crazy, but it was still crazy. And it wasn't our fault either. You know what I'm saying? But big shout out to everybody that was on the live. Everybody that was in there from the time I got on, the whole hour delay up into the fight, and rocking with me throughout the fight and after the fight. Like, that was big. Like, that was huge for the channel. Big shout out to everybody that was in the live. Big shout out to the Blunt Truth. Big shout out to him. And I think he has reaction videos up. I haven't checked yet, but definitely check the Blunt Truth and his YouTube channel and check his reaction videos. My homie Che, he was Blaze Philly 215 in live. The live is not up on the channel, but it was Blaze Philly 215. I think it was New Wave Boxing Media. That's his channel. Definitely go check him out. And the little homie My Sports, big shout out to My Sports. He's out in the UK, so he's 5 hours ahead. So when it was, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the States, it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And, he was still in the chat rocking with us. So big shout out to My Sports as well. And we got some things to talk about before we even talk about the fight. First of all, Ryan Garcia was the co-main event. I think that was a scheduled 10-round fight. He knocked Dunno out in the first round. And after the knockout, I was just like, all right, maybe they'll delay it for maybe a half hour, something like that. And then everything will be cool. They'll just send Kovalev and they'll send Canelo out. Yo, that wait was over an hour. That wait was over an hour strictly because they were trying to wait out the UFC event. The UFC had a pay-per-view, and Diaz was the main event, and they literally waited out the UFC. They even showed the UFC fight in the arena for the people that was waiting for the Canelo fight. And the zone was stuck between a rock and a hard place with that. From a business aspect, I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to wait for the UFC to be done so they can get as many eyeballs as possible. And so I understand that, but you supposed to have the top guy in the sport. Canelo Alvarez is supposed to be the top guy in the sport. So even though from a business standpoint, I understand it, from a pure, just human level, it's kind of we got the cash cow. We got Canelo Alvarez. Fuck what the UFC doing. We coming to bet. You know what I'm saying? And the zone decided just to wait. And I think it caused them more harm than good. I think if it wasn't for the wait, I think, our live would have been crazy. We'd have had a crazy amount of numbers. We had about 5,000. I think we capped out at 5,200, something like that for the live. But yeah, I think the zone really did themselves a disservice. They was literally showing video of Sergey Kovalev on the couch. He was on the couch, stretched out, chilling, waiting for this fight to come on. And we got Canelo hanging out with family and friends and all of that. And it's both of the fighters probably were cold coming into the ring. They had to warm up twice, probably 3 times. And it was bad. It was really bad. I get it, but it was bad. They did themselves a disservice at the end of the day, because probably a lot of people didn't watch the fight strictly because they had to wait so long. People was checking into my channel, they was checking on the live like, yo, bro, when the fight starting? When the fight starting? And I had somebody in my live tell me like, yo, bro, like they waiting for the UFC to finish up. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, this is absolutely crazy. So that was a bad moment for DAZN. And that was a bad moment for Canelo Alvarez as well, because if he's supposed to be the most popular guy in the sport, if he's supposed to be the cash cow, you don't allow some UFC event to trump what you trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine Floyd doing that. Like, Floyd ain't waiting no hour and a half. Like, Floyd, like, hell no. Like, we going to bet. Like, they going to get off of UFC and they going to come see me. You know what I'm saying? There's different levels to this this cash cow thing and pay-per-view star and all of that, man. Like, yeah, like Canelo they should have just fought. Like, they should have had maybe like a 20-minute delay and just fought. You know what I'm saying? However many people seen it, they seen it. I can see if it was pay-per-view, then that's something different. But we talking about DAZN, that's a paid subscription, monthly subscription. So for them to wait that long, like, I just, you know, like, I understand it, but I don't, all at the same time. But again, big shout out to everybody that was in that live. Now, as far as the fight goes, this fight was difficult to score because it really depended on what you like. Kovalev, he did the same thing he did against Eleider Alvarez. He did the same thing that he did against Yard in this fight with Canelo Alvarez. Jab, straight right hand. Jab, straight right hand, occasional hook. Everything was short, compact, and he threw those shots, number one, to keep Canelo hands at home, number two, to control distance. Canelo only threw half of the punches that Kovalev threw. So mission accomplished with that. He controlled distance, he kept Canelo hands up, and Canelo was really only throwing in spots. If you like the activity from Kovalev, but Kovalev wasn't landing anything big, if you like that, then you were giving Kovalev those rounds. Now, for Canelo Alvarez, he was picking his shots. He wasn't getting hit with anything big, and everything that he was actually throwing were huge shots. He was throwing huge shots, and at the end of the day, Canelo was really walking Kovalev down. Like, it was weird because Kovalev was keeping distance, but he wasn't walking Canelo down. Like, Canelo was walking him down, and Kovalev was just moving around the ring, jab, jab, straight right hand, occasional hook. And that's what he was doing throughout the fight. The jab, straight right hand, cool. Keeping the distance, cool. Here's where Kovalev made his mistakes. Number one, he didn't invest to the body. That was number one. He didn't invest to the body. He didn't try to commit to the body. He threw a couple body shots, but it wasn't enough to really get Canelo's attention. Second thing, Kovalev never imposed his size on Canelo Alvarez. The first half of the fight, that jab, straight right hand, occasional hook, keep the distance, keep Canelo hands at home. First half of the fight, that should have been the game plan. The back half of the fight should have changed. He should have changed the second half of the fight. He should have started walking Canelo down and started imposing his size on Canelo. Kovalev fought as if he was the guy that was 160 coming up to 175 versus him being a natural 175 pounder. And the third thing that went wrong for Sergey Kovalev is he just didn't throw the money shot. Like, he was too concerned about counter shots from Canelo Alvarez. He was concerned about the speed. But Anthony Yard had speed. You know what I'm saying? And he fought Yard a little bit different. He didn't have a problem throwing his money shot. He didn't throw his money shot against Canelo Alvarez. And that was the difference in the fight. He didn't give Canelo anything to really think about outside of Kovalev just keeping his hands busy. You know what I'm saying? And that was a big reason why Kovalev lost the fight. As far as Canelo goes, Canelo executed the game plan. He drug Kovalev in deep water. He knew Kovalev was going to get tired. Kovalev was trying to pace himself during that fight, and Canelo was really throwing some good counter shots, and he just started. It looked like his game plan was to get Kovalev late, and that's exactly what happened in that fight. Congratulations to Canelo Alvarez. Kovalev, the strategy was fine for the first half of the fight. He was just supposed to go into another strategy in the second half of the fight, and he never did. He kept that same energy the whole fight, and you're not gonna be able to throw, pity pat shots, jab straight right hands without no real authority and beat Canelo on the cards. Now, respect to the judges. One judge had it 95-95. The other two judges had Canelo by a round. Fight was difficult to score. It depends on, what you like. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really depends on what you like. And me personally, scoring the fight, I had it pretty much even going into that round. But a lot of people had Kovalev up. People like what Kovalev was doing. And, but people like those counter shots by Canelo, and he was putting a lot of force, a lot of might into those shots. It was what it was. But it was a good night of boxing. It was a whole lot of other fights on that night, but DAZN, they shouldn't have waited no hour and a half because of UFC. That's some bullshit. Like, they should have just went on with it, and whatever happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't look at everything from a business aspect, because at the end of the day, that hour and a half probably pissed more people off than if you would have ran your show with UFC at the same time. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.